This is Allison and I'm here with the Baby Lock Accolade. The Accolade is a combination serger and cover stitch machine, and with all 8 threads you have 87 different stitch combinations that you can use. Where this machine really shines is finishing off your seams and edges, and it allows you to work with a lot of different types of fabrics that you really wouldn't want to work with on a traditional sewing machine, such as knits or athletic wear, swimwear, things that are going to give you a lot of stretch and a lot of movement as they go underneath your presser foot and your needle, as well as after you're finished with the project. So I have the machine threaded up for a triple cover stitch. So let's see how well it works with this 4-way knit. Now when we take a look at this, we have 3 beautiful lines perfectly parallel, and on the back my stitch looks beautiful as well. Now if you notice, one other thing is when I got to the end of the fabric, I did not have to stop the machine and do anything special with the thread. I was able to chain off about an inch past where my fabric stopped. Now what that means is when you get to the end of your project, you don't have to lift your presser foot, pull your needle threads forward and pull your project out the back. The baby locks are going to allow you to finish off this stitch without having to do any extra work. It's going to take care of it for you. So this is a really great benefit for saving time and also a hassle. Now we're going to add in a couple of needles so that we can work with all 8 threads at once, and you can see just how well the 2 sides of this machine play together. So I'm going to take off the cover stitch table and replace it with the knife cover, and I'm going to bring my upper looper up and bring my blade up. And now in order to thread, all I have to do is push a couple of buttons. I'm going to engage my looper threaders because the Accolade has what we call extraordinary threading. Now when I bring in my looper threads, all I'm going to need to do is put the tip of my thread into the lower looper port. And then if you look right here, when I push this button, the thread's going to come right through my lower looper. And my lower looper is threaded. You don't have to worry about any types of tweezers, special tools. You don't have to dig into the guts of the machine. With the baby lock, it's just as easy as pushing a button. And it's going to be the same way for my upper looper thread. I'm going to put it right here into the port, and then we'll watch, and it shoots it right through. So now all 3 of my loopers are threaded, actually, the chain looper and the upper and lower looper on the serging side. And now I'm going to put the needles into the machine so that we can have a 4-thread overlock on the serging side. There's a nice little window here that shows me how far up my needle is in the needle bar, so I can see when it's at a fully correct position and it's all the way in there. All right, so now we are ready to stitch. I'm going to bring up, I've got my knife blade up. Now with the Accolade, Baby Lock makes a quick reference threading guide. So for all of your basic stitches, all we have to do is consult the reference guide, and it's going to tell us exactly where to put the settings on the machine to make sure that we get the best result. So with this, I've got a triple cover stitch and a 4-thread overlock, and I'm just going to double check everything that I have here and make sure that it's all in the correct position, and we are good to go. So let's see how beautiful these stitches are. Got a little loose thread stuck through there, but just pulls right out And there we've got my beautiful 4-thread overlock on the top in green and the triple cover stitch in the bottom in yellow. And on the back, it looks just as nice. So now I'm going to take out some of the chain and cover stitch threads, and we're going to work just with the serger. And now for the 4-thread overlock. So what the serger is going to let us do is finish off our seams so that we have a nice finished edge. And if we're working with a fabric that ruffles or pulls out, not ruffles, that will fray on us, like this one will, then it's going to finish that off so that we don't have to worry about it continuing to fray once we've got it worked into a project. So I'm going to put this in here, and one of the things that Baby Lock puts onto their quick reference threading guide are called stitch selector selections. Now that is right over here, and it's in green so that we know that it's for the serger section of the machine. What that does is it presets the tensions for each stitch. If you notice, as we changed the stitches before, we did not have to worry about any type of tension adjustment, even though I worked with a couple different fabrics. It's going to give me the same tension no matter what type of fabric I'm working with. And that's what that stitch selector tells the machine, is just which stitch I'm working with, and then the machine will adjust to the weight of the fabric. So this lining fabric that frays out along the side, I'm going to show you what the 4-thread looks like over on that. And there we go, we've got a lovely finish there. Now, what if I want to go from something this thin into something quite a bit thicker? With this machine, I don't have to make any adjustments. I've got 2 layers of 10-ounce denim here, and let's see how it works with that without touching anything else on the machine. And I'm going to fold it over so we get 4 layers. And that was absolutely not a problem at all. It's going to give me the same quality stitch no matter the thickness of the fabric or what type of fabric it is. Now I'm going to take out 1 needle and we're going to go to a 3-thread narrow. Now with the 3-thread overlock, I'll show you just what it looks like. I'm going to switch this to B. And that's all the adjustment needed to change from a 4-thread overlock to this 3-thread overlock. Now the Accolade also has a differential feed built in. So if you need something that's going to stretch your fabric as it goes under the presser foot, or if you need it to bunch it up a little bit, you can make those adjustments. So if you're wanting to put a ruffle into something, or a small ruffle, but without having to go through the trouble of actually ruffling something, then all I'm going to do is lift up this differential feed and run it right through. And that's going to give me a beautiful small little gather there. No trouble at all. And the next thing that I want to show you is going to be how well this works with a 4-way stretch Lycra. So when we have the serger stitches on here, how well does it hold up with something this stretchy? This would be comparable to swimwear or athletic wear. And so then we have that beautiful 3-thread overlock, and it's very stretchy. It's going to work really well with my fabric. It's going to flex with my fabric so that it's not going to pop any stitches like it would on a traditional sewing machine. And now for the last really exciting stitch, we have a narrow rolled hem. And in order to do that stitch, we're just going to make another couple of adjustments, very, very minor. And there we go, we've got a beautiful rolled hem.